Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Year of the Empire. Finger guns. Why not?
Finger bang. I'm a finger bang. Okay.
This is already off to a great start. Alright guys, so this week we reviewed something called Cellar Dweller. Came out in 1988 and it was directed by John Carl
Van Damme.
John Carl Van Damme, yeah. So anyways, this is off to a great start.
This is just like...
It's the same guy who directed Troll, but he's also does like all the creature work from almost every Empire Picture movie we just reviewed.
His work's always his work's always really good when it comes to like creatures. So
I think he directed Friday the 13th's A New Blood. I might be wrong in the movie, but I want to say it was A New Blood that he directed. The first one was Kane Hodder. But yeah, he's horror director, mainly known for his effects. Great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy, yeah. We go out and get a pint every now and then.
A pint?
Yeah, we're in Britain now. This is off to a great start.
This is just like going downhill right now.
And you know, who cares? No one watches this. So anyways, this movie's Cellar Dweller. Oddly enough, I wanted to see this movie for years, only because of like the cover art, which
I think we brought this up in the past.
It's the top one.
It's always the cover art on these are really good.
Yeah.
Sometimes has nothing to do with the actual movie. This one, honestly, this one does.
And I just, the name of it just kind of stuck in my head when I was first getting into horror movies.
Cellar Dweller.
Yes, Cellar Dweller.
So
I always wanted to see it, and we finally did, and honestly, it didn't live up to my weird expectations.
The creature, really good.
Yeah, it looked really good.
It was slow. I feel like the concept, though, is really, really... could be explored if it was done better. It's a great concept, and I actually really like the concept. I'm sure the concept's basically been done before.
Well, I feel like this could have been like a great cult movie if they would have just steered more into like the good ideas they had, because it was like pretty much a comic book artist when because they summon a demon through some weird book. I don't know. They don't explain it. Every time they write a panel, it comes true. And I feel like I literally saw this in a Goosebumps episode before, but in this movie,
Goosebumps.
You gotta review Goosebumps.
Oh god.
But no, in this movie, I think it was a great premise that was thrown into a weird plot, and I actually found something funny out about this. Is that it's directed by Don Mancini. Do you know who that guy is? You might not know his name.
He's the killer from Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah, from the first one. No, not the sequels. That's
trying to think of something clever, but I couldn't.
No, it's the guy who created Child's Play. He wrote the original, and then he started directing and writing all the sequels.
Oh, so he's Chucky.
So
he played Chucky.
He played Chucky in the Child's Play.
So he's a doll.
Yeah, he is a doll. So a doll wrote this. You can quote me on this. But yeah, he put out the script. That was, I think, more... No one really knows exactly what it's like, but it was apparently not the direction Charles Band wanted to go, and it was probably more like this cult movie status that it could have attained. So Charles Band, really kind of ripped it down into something much different to what we got, that to the point where Don Mancini went by, a fake name. So Kit Dubois. It went by a girl's name. So he didn't like what the final result was, and honestly... It's not that it's a bad movie, it's that it doesn't do anything with its premise and the plot.
The pacing was weird. I would say the pacing was the weirdest part.
I never really cared what was going on. I was going to give you guys, a breakdown of the plot, but honestly, it's this, 30 years ago, according to the opening titles.
It's supposed to be in the 50s, so when you say 30 years ago now, it's the 90s.
It's weird.
So, that's why... My biggest argument, I complained about this when the movie first started. You shouldn't say 30 years ago. It should say 1950s. And then that sets that time when this is, and then when it flashes back to the present, 30 years from now. Everyone could do that simple math.
Yep.
50s plus 30, 90s. Or 80s.
And I would say nothing in this flashback of the 1950s feels like the 50s. It's just... a generic flashback.
Actually, it just looked like a typical monster movie.
And it actually had Jeffrey Combs from the Beyond Re-Animator and horror,
which I feel like he wasn't properly utilized.
No, he plays this comic book artist that makes his creation, which is that title Cellar Dweller monster, come to life, and then he dies, and we fast forward 20 years later, according to the title card, and in it, it's this person's like obsessed with the guy's old comic book work that she moves into the house, which is now like this weird like performance arts mini college where there's only like 5 people, but some of them are actors, some of them are dancers.
One's retired, like Private Eye.
Yeah, because that's just what people do. I don't understand it. I don't think they understood it.
I just don't understand.
It makes no sense.
Sorry.
I don't understand this movie too much.
No, I mean, like, it wasn't a, like, traditionally, like, horrible movie. I'd probably watch it a second time, maybe pay a little more attention. It didn't catch my eye to the level. I think out of almost anything we've watched, it has more potential than a lot of them.
Yes, but I think in execution it was going through the motions more than any other.
Yeah, it was like, hey, we need to put on a movie. And there was no bonus features for this one, so maybe that
about it.
Maybe that should show you that they were maybe just making a movie to make a movie instead of actually like caring. Maybe they needed funding for another movie,
which is probably it. They used the same set of another movie we did not watch, but
so yeah. It was,
anyways, in it, like the monster's cool, but he just kind of stays in the shadows, doesn't really do much. But when he is, like, he does emote a lot, and he doesn't have like a lot of movement, but like he is like eating limbs and he's bloody a lot. So the gore is pretty cool. He like slashes someone's head off with his claws.
That effect was actually the best kill, and it was a cool effect.
That was definitely the best kill by far, though. Like that's the best by far. Nothing comes close.
Yeah, that was my favorite effect. I thought it actually did. When it happened,
I like rewound it 3 times.
I'm like,
I want to make sure I see all this. And
like, that's a good effect. It actually. Trust me, knocking off somebody's head isn't always the easiest thing to do as a practical effect. As we know, we've tried it.
We have.
It probably wasn't great.
But it was pretty good in that regard. And what kind of also got me was the ending. I didn't like it because it made no sense. Like it looks like it was just being a generic ending, and then they like brought everyone back just to kill them off again. And I don't understand why. It doesn't really explain why it's happening.
I don't understand.
I don't understand. There's no explanation to why the monster really exists. One of the people ends up being the monster and like transforms into it, but then they're not it at the very end. I don't know. I don't understand.
Combing up stars.
I tried to understand. I tried for you guys, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
But it was alright. I wouldn't call this a bad movie.
I might actually watch it again down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just
putting down.
It did it. Yeah, we're picking up what you put down.
Slide into my DMs.
Yep. Anyone, all you guys can slide into our DMs if you want, but don't. So in it, yeah, there's not much more that I would want to say about this movie. I know this is going to be a short review, but
oh god, only about 8 minutes so
far.
Oof.
There's not a lot to this movie, and
there's not a lot to complain about. There's only a few things to complain about, and not a lot to praise. The effects, you could say, were pretty good. There was a few good kills. It could have, the pacing, I think they could have probably shrunk it down a little bit, and it would have been a better paced movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, oh well, it happens. Sometimes they can't all be good. Like, it feels like up until this point we either got really good movies, movies that are so bad they're funny, or like movies that kind of are verging on cult status. Like Metal Storm, I can see that kind of being
Metal
Storm. But I don't think this one had anything special going for it.
No, I mean, a lot of these movies have decent effects. So
yeah,
I mean,
the score was good, but so yeah, not a lot of praise for Cellar Dweller, but maybe the next movie will be good.
I don't even know what the next one is.
I don't know what it is. So
I know we say that like almost every
you'll
time.
be surprised just as much as we are.
Yeah, he brought the movie over. I'm like, what we watch at Cellar Dweller. That's a cool name. Okay.
Yep.
That's how we do this. That's how we roll.
Yeah, we'll see if the next one has a cool name. Probably has a cool poster though, because that's all they have going for him.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so tune in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It depends on where this month kind of falls. I don't know. I don't know why I'm still talking.
Who even knows?
We're just talking.
Play on, play on.
I knew you were going to do that. For some reason, I just knew that was the words that were going to come out of your mouth.